Ladies and gentlemen, listen, this is not about being positive all the time. This is about getting real with yourself. Let me tell you the truth. You don't feel like it. So what? That's not a valid reason to quit, because guess what? You're never going to feel like it. Motivation is garbage. It's a myth. It disappears the second life punches you in the gut. And when life does that, and it will, you don't need motivation. You need grit. You need a system. You need action. You say you want to change your life. You say you want to succeed. You say you want to be healthier, wealthier, stronger, more focused, more disciplined. Great, but let me ask you this. What are you doing about it? Because here's the uncomfortable truth that most people won't tell you. Your excuses don't matter. Your reasons, your doubts, your stress, your fear of failing, none of that matters when it comes to achieving something real. What matters, the only thing that matters, is what you actually do. That means the moment you say, I'll start tomorrow, you're giving your power away. The second you think, I don't feel like it, you're letting your emotions drive your life. And when your emotions are in the driver's seat, your potential gets shoved in the trunk. That's how dreams die, not from failure, but from hesitation. You don't need another plan. You don't need a fresh wave of motivation. What you need is to move. Action is the only thing that breaks the cycle of procrastination and doubt. And I'm not talking about some giant leap or overnight success story. That's the fantasy most people use to justify doing nothing. If I can't do it perfectly or big, what's the point? The point is that progress beats perfection every single time. It's not about changing your whole life today. It's about making one decision that moves you forward. Let me be clear, your brain is wired to hold you back. It's not broken. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do, keep you safe. That means avoiding risk, discomfort, uncertainty. So every time you consider taking action, starting a business, having a difficult conversation, trying something new, your brain pulls the emergency brake. Wait, what if I fail? What if I get embarrassed? What if I'm not good enough? That internal monologue is exactly why you can't wait to feel ready, because you never will. Ready is a lie, waiting is a trap, and excuses are the prison bars that keep you stuck. So what do? You act anyway. You choose action in the face of fear, doubt, and insecurity. Think about any time in your life when you felt proud of yourself. I guarantee it didn't come from sitting on the couch thinking about your goals. It came from doing something hard, something you didn't feel ready for, something you almost talked yourself out of, but you did it. You moved. You took action. That's where pride comes from. The problem is we've been sold the idea that action follows motivation, that you need to be inspired, that you need the stars to align, that your why has to be strong enough. That's wrong. Action doesn't follow motivation. Motivation follows action. You act first. Move, you disrupt the comfort zone, and that act triggers a shift, a spark, a moment of pride, and that pride fuels more action. That's how you build momentum. That's how you win. Look, nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody is going to push you harder than you push yourself. That's the reality. And if that scares you, good. That means you're finally starting to wake up. You're either going to take control of your life, or you're going to keep surrendering it to your excuses. There is no in between. Action is how you reclaim your power. It's how you train your brain to work for you, not against you. It's how you rewire your habits, build discipline, and stack up small wins that change everything. You don't need to run a marathon today, but you can put on your shoes and run around the block. You don't need to build $1 million business this month, but you can make your first offer. You don't need to fix your entire life, but you can take control of this moment, this hour, this day, and that choice, that single choice to take action today. That's how you prove to yourself that you are not someone who quits. You are not someone who hides behind fear. You are someone who shows up no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall. You want to change your life. Start by doing something, anything. Just don't sit still, because the people who win in life are not the smartest, or the luckiest, or the most talented. They are the ones who stopped making excuses and started making moves. So get up. Start now. Act like your future depends on it, because it does. Let's talk about something that most people don't even realize is happening to them every single day. Your brain is holding you back, and it's doing it on purpose. We're born with a mind designed to do one thing exceptionally well, keep you safe. That's its primary job, not make you successful, not help you grow, not encourage risk or progress or transformation, just survival. That means anytime you try to change, whether it's starting something new, pushing past fear, or chasing a dream, your brain sees it as a threat. And what does your brain do when it perceives a threat? It resists, it creates fear, it floods your body with hesitation, it whispers, what if you fail? What if you look stupid? What if it all goes wrong? And that's the exact moment most people give up. But here's what nobody tells you: that fear isn't real. It feels real. It sounds convincing, but it's just a mental reflex. It's your brain running an outdated protection program, trying to pull you back into the comfort zone. Even when the comfort zone is killing your dreams, think about it. How many times have you had an idea? Something exciting, something bold. And within seconds, your brain shut it down. I could start that business. Too risky. I should reach out and ask for that opportunity. They'll probably say no. I need to speak up. You'll embarrass yourself. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're wired this way. And once you understand that, once you realize that your fear is not a sign to stop, but a sign that you're on the right path, you take your power back. Let's break this down so you can see what's really going on. The part of your brain responsible for survival is called the amygdala. It's ancient, and it reacts immediately to anything unfamiliar or uncertain. It doesn't differentiate between actual danger and emotional discomfort. So when you decide to do something bold, like start a podcast, change careers, walk into the gym, or say no to people pleasing, it panics, your heartbeat speeds up, you feel anxious, your thoughts race. That's the amygdala firing the alarm. But here's the deal: you're not in danger, you're growing, you're expanding, and your brain can't tell the difference. So what do? You don't wait for the fear to go away, because it won't. You train yourself to move forward despite the fear. You remind yourself, this isn't a warning to stop. It's a signal I'm doing something meaningful. This is why people quit just as they are about to break through, because fear feels like a wall, but it's not a wall. It's a threshold, a doorway to the next level. And if you turn around when fear shows up, you never walk through it. You want to know what makes someone unstoppable. It's not that they don't feel fear, it's that they recognize it for what it is, a reflex, not reality. Fear will never disappear completely, but courage doesn't mean you're fearless. Courage means you're afraid and you do it anyway. Let me be practical here. Moment your brain says don't, you've got about 5 seconds before that thought becomes a decision. That's all, 5 seconds. If you don't interrupt it, the fear wins, the hesitation becomes inaction, and inaction becomes regret. So when the fear shows up, and it will, you use that fear as fuel. You say, I know what this is. This is my brain trying to protect me, but I'm not in danger. I'm just uncomfortable. And I can do uncomfortable things. That's a truth you have to teach yourself every single day, through repetition, through tiny, courageous actions. You build the muscle of resilience by walking into fear and proving to yourself you're stronger than it. This is how you become the kind of person who never gives up, because you're no longer fooled by fear. You're no longer manipulated by comfort. You're no longer controlled by your old programming. You are the one in charge now. So the next time you feel resistance, don't run from it. Don't shrink. Don't make excuses. Look it in the eye and say, I see you, but I'm not quitting. I'm not going back. I've got something bigger to build. And then take the step, move forward, push through, because if you keep letting fear win, you'll never know who you could have become. But if you choose to act, even when it's terrifying, you'll discover something extraordinary. Your greatest potential lives on the other side of the fear that tried to stop you. And once you learn to walk through it, there's no limit to what you can create. Let me tell you something that will change how you show up in life forever. Asterisk, asterisk, you don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't even need more motivation. You need one thing, asterisk, asterisk, a decision. And the moment you have that decision, you need to move fast. Why? Because hesitation is a killer. The second you pause, your brain steps in and shuts it all down. That instinct you just had, that flash of courage, that spark of genius. If you don't act on it in 5 seconds or less, your mind will bury it under fear, doubt, and excuses every single time. This is where the 5-second rule comes in. It's not some cute trick. It's rooted in science, in behavioral psychology, and in raw human nature. Here's how it works. When you have an impulse to act on a goal, you must move physically within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. Count it down. 5-4-3-2-1. Go. Simple, yes. Easy, no. But it's powerful because it interrupts the mental habits that are keeping you stuck. It shuts off the autopilot mode and flips your brain into decision making, and that shift from autopilot to intentional action, that's everything. See, most people live their lives by default, not by design. They wait, they procrastinate, they scroll, they overthink, and while they're thinking about making the move, someone else, someone just like them, does. Let me be real with you. Every time you hesitate, you're giving fear a chance to speak. Every time you wait for motivation, you're gambling with your dreams. You don't need to feel like doing it. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to beat your brain at its own game, because your brain is brilliant, but it's lazy. It wants the path of least resistance. It wants to keep things familiar, even if the familiar is miserable. So when you get that impulse, apply for the job, speak up in a meeting, start that workout, post that video. Your window is short. The hesitation reflex will slam the door fast if you don't move. That's why the 5-second rule works. It creates urgency. It forces your body into motion before your mind has time to sabotage you. And once you're in motion, you're golden, because movement creates momentum. Taking one action, even a small one, flips the switch from thinking to doing, and that's when the magic happens. That's when your brain starts rewiring itself around courage, not comfort. You want to become confident, use the rule. You want to stop quitting on yourself, use the rule. You want to build discipline, resilience, belief, use the rule. I'll give you an example. Let's say your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. You know you should get up, but you don't feel like it. Your bed is warm. Your brain starts negotiating. Just 5 more minutes. Wrong. That's the moment. You count 5-4-3-2-1, and you get up, not because you felt like it, because you decided to, because you took control, and that one win, getting out of bed on time, becomes the first win of the day. That win builds confidence, that win creates momentum, and then you stack another one and another. That's how you build a life that's aligned with your goals, not your excuses. You know what's really exhausting? Inaction. It's draining to sit around thinking about what you should be doing, feeling guilty for not doing it, making plans you don't follow through on. But when you just take action, even if it's messy, even if it's small, you gain energy, you build self-trust. You stop being someone who breaks promises to yourself. Now let's be honest, this isn't a magic pill. It's not going to eliminate fear. Fear will always be there, but the rule trains you to act in spite of it, to feel it and move anyway. And that, my friend, is the definition of courage. You don't need a perfect strategy. You don't need to eliminate fear. You just need 5 seconds of insane bravery, 5 seconds of choice, 5 seconds where you stop thinking and start doing. The 5-second rule isn't about changing your whole life in one day. It's about making one powerful decision at a time, over and over again, until those small acts stack up into a life you're proud of. So the next time you know what you need to do, but you don't feel like it, don't wait, don't think, don't negotiate, just count it down. 5-4-3-2-1, go. Because in those 5 seconds you take back your power. You silence the doubt, you activate the strength, and you become the kind of person who doesn't just dream, you do. Everybody wants the big win, the breakthrough, the transformation, the before and after moment, and that's great. It's human to dream big, but let's be honest, most people get stuck waiting for something massive to happen instead of doing the small, boring, uncomfortable things that actually create progress. The truth is, your life changes when your habits change, when you choose small, deliberate actions over and over again, especially when you don't feel like it. That's where the shift begins. Success isn't one giant leap. It's a million tiny steps. It's the choice to get out of bed at 5 a.m. when you want to sleep in. It's sending one more email after getting rejected 10 times. It's getting back in the gym after falling off for a week. It's doing the uncomfortable thing again and again, even when no one's watching and no one's cheering you on. Let me tell you something powerful. Small wins compound. They build momentum. They train your brain to associate action with progress and progress with pride. And that pride, that's fuel. That's what keeps you going when motivation disappears, because let's be clear, motivation always disappears. You'll never feel like doing the hard thing. So stop waiting for motivation and start chasing the win, the little achievable win that you can grab right now. Because one small win today becomes tomorrow, it becomes a pattern, a rhythm, and that rhythm becomes your new identity. People think discipline is a trait you're born with. No, it's a skill you build, one decision at a time, one tiny victory stacked on the next. Every time you choose discomfort over distraction, you're strengthening that discipline muscle. Every time you do the thing you said you'd do, especially when it's inconvenient, you prove to yourself that you're someone who follows through. You stop negotiating with your goals. You stop being controlled by your emotions. You stop quitting on yourself. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say you want to write a book. Amazing, but most people sit there overwhelmed by the big picture 300 pages, editing, publishing. It feels impossible, so they never start. But what if instead you committed to writing one paragraph a day? That's it. Just one, no pressure, no perfection, just show up and write something. Now multiply that small action over time. One paragraph a day becomes a page becomes a chapter becomes a book. That's the power of small wins. Or maybe you're trying to rebuild your body. You want to lose 20 pounds, but the gym feels intimidating. So instead of obsessing over that huge goal, you start with a 10-minute walk, just that, every single day, and you commit to it like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. Over time, that 10-minute walk leads to 20. Then maybe you clean up one meal, then you're drinking more water, then your confidence starts to build. And before you know it, the person who couldn't even commit to walking is lifting weights and running miles. It's not magic, it's not talent, it's consistency through small action. Here's something else nobody talks about. You build emotional strength the same way. When you're anxious and you still show up, that's a win. When you're scared but you make the call anyway, that's a win. When you're tempted to give up but take one more step forward, that's a win. And the more you do it, the more you rewire your brain. Expect growth, not retreat in the face of discomfort. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by what you do today and tomorrow and the day after that. You become strong not through information but through repetition, through showing up, through tiny wins that no one sees but you feel deep down, and one day you wake up and realize something has changed. You're not negotiating with your alarm clock anymore. You're not afraid to speak up. You're not breaking promises to yourself. Why? Because you built the identity of a finisher, of a fighter, of someone who never gives up. So stop waiting for the massive win. Focus on the next small win, because one right action taken now is worth more than 1,000 perfect ideas that never leave your head. Do something uncomfortable today, and then do it again tomorrow. That's how real transformation happens, not in the big moments, but in the thousands of small ones no one ever talks about. You want to change your life, win small, but win every day. People throw around the word resilience like it's a character trait you either have or you don't. Like some people are just born tough, and the rest of us are supposed to sit back and admire them. That's a lie. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a skill, just like playing an instrument, learning a language, or lifting weights. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. The more pressure you put on it, the more it grows. And the only way to develop it is to do the uncomfortable thing. Keep going when everything in you wants to quit. Let's be honest, life is going to test you. It's going to knock the wind out of you. You're going to face days, maybe even seasons, where everything feels heavy, where nothing goes your way, where doubt creeps in and makes you question whether you're even capable of pushing forward. And that's exactly when resilience shows up, not in the highlight reel, not when everything's smooth, but in the mess, in the hard moments, in the days when the easiest thing to do would be to walk away. Resilience isn't loud, it doesn't scream, it whispers. It says, I know this is hard, but we're not done. Every time you fall and choose to rise, that's resilience. Every time you fail and decide to try again, that's resilience. Every time the door slams shut and you keep knocking, that's resilience. And just like a muscle, the more you use it, the more automatic it becomes. You don't develop resilience by avoiding struggle. You develop it by walking through it, by facing it head on, by refusing to let it break you. You want to know what really builds mental toughness, not success, not ease, not praise, adversity, rejection, failure. That's your training ground. Because what you do when things go wrong defines who you really are. Anybody can smile when things are going right. Anybody can stay focused when the road is clear and the wind is at their back. But what do you do when it's uphill, dark, and lonely? That's where you meet the real you. That's where resilience is either forged or forgotten. Here's what you need to understand. You're not powerless. You're not stuck. You're not fragile. You've survived every hard day you've ever had. Think about that. Every single one, and you're still standing. So don't tell me you don't have what it takes. You've already proven that you do, but now it's time to sharpen that strength, to build it on purpose. Resilience comes from choosing not to give in to the voice in your head that says, "This is too much." It comes from recognizing that setbacks are setups, training sessions that are making you stronger, more capable, more unstoppable, and the best part, you don't need to do something massive to build it. Every small act of persistence counts. Every time you choose to show up when it would be easier to stay down, that's another rep, another brick laid in the foundation of your strength. You know those people you admire, the ones who seem unbreakable, they weren't born that way. They were built in the fire, in the setbacks, in the moments when most people would have given up. So if you're in a hard season right now, let me speak directly to you. Don't you dare quit. This challenge you're facing, it's an invitation. It's life saying, let's see what you're made of. And your answer, the only one that matters, is in your action. Keep going, even if it's one step, even if it's messy, even if it's slow. Because with every step you take, you're not just moving forward. You're becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone tougher, someone who doesn't just survive setbacks, but grows because of them. Resilience is earned, and you earn it by refusing to give up again and again and again. You're not defined by what happens to you. You're defined by how you respond. So respond with fight, respond with grit, respond with courage, and when life knocks you down, stand up one more time than it knocks you. That's resilience, and once you master that skill, there is nothing in this world that can hold you back. Let's bring it all home. You've heard the truth today, not the fluffy, sugar-coated version, but the real truth, the kind that shakes you awake and stares you in the face. You don't need to wait for a perfect plan. You don't need to wait to feel ready, and you sure as hell don't need to wait for motivation. What you need is already inside you, the ability to act, the ability to choose, the ability to stand up even if you're broken and say, "I'm not done yet." This journey, it's not about talent, it's not about luck, it's not about circumstances, it's about what you do when the pressure hits, when the world tells you to give up. When every cell in your body is screaming for comfort and you still move. That's how legends are built, by choosing action over excuses, by realizing that your brain isn't your enemy, but you've got to learn how to manage it, how to beat the fear and override the resistance. By using tools like the 5-second rule to launch yourself forward when your mind wants to hold you back. By stacking small wins until they become a mountain of proof that you're stronger than every single lie you've ever believed about yourself. And by training resilience like it's your superpower, because it is. Because once you learn how to rise when everything's falling apart, there's nothing that can stop you. This is not just about achieving goals. This is about who you become in the process, about proving to yourself day after day that you are the kind of person who keeps going, who keeps fighting, who never gives up. So the next time life hits hard, and it will remember this, you've got 5 seconds to choose who you want to be. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Your future isn't waiting. It's being built right now by you. So stand up, push forward, and don't stop until the world knows. You already know. You were born to rise. You were born to lead. You were born to win. And no matter what, you will never give up. Let's go.